Hi everyone, I'm Max.
And I'm Finlay. Welcome to the very special sports edition of Sometime This Week.
We've got a lot coming up, so stay tuned. First up, we've got the news with Sophie Wright. Take it away.
Thanks, Max. Police are searching for suspects after a violent confrontation in Bega left a 43-year-old man dead and a 45-year-old man hospitalised. The victim suffered multiple stab wounds and a chainsaw was reportedly involved, though no one was injured by it. New South Wales Police say the inquiries are ongoing with multiple crime scenes under investigation. Police are appealing for witnesses after a 40-year-old man was allegedly stabbed on Corrimal Street near the Harp Hotel in Wollongong on Monday afternoon. Emergency services treated the man for a thigh wound at the scene before taking him to Wollongong Hospital, while police were told he had been arguing with another man. An investigation is underway with authorities urging anyone with information to come forward as they try and gather evidence to understand how the incident unfolded. After a major police operation on Sunday, 60-year-old gunman Artemis Minzaz has been taken into custody after one man was left with gunshot wounds and more than 12 people injured in the Sydney suburb of Croydon Park. Soon after, specialist units were at the scene and moved to arrest the suspect after an intense standoff. Police seized a number of firearms, including a high-caliber rifle. The suspect has since faced court and has been charged with 25 offences, including 18 counts of shooting with the intent to murder. Other charges included one count of possessing an unregistered firearm, discharging a firearm with intent to resist arrest, along with 5 other gun-related charges. Swimmers on Sydney's beaches have been urged to exercise caution after 2 separate shark sightings prompted the temporary closure of beaches from Manly to freshwater this week. A tagged tiger shark was detected near North Steen Sensor, while a vessel reported spotting a shark over 6 metres long, about 200 metres off of North Narrabeen. The beaches have since reopened, but swimmers are urged to stay in patrolled areas and exit the water immediately if alarms sound. Wollongong is set to welcome more than 4,000 athletes this week for the 2025 World Triathlon Championship Finals. From October 15th to the 19th, our city will host elite international competitors in events including the Para-Triathlon and Championship Finals. The council is urging residents to plan ahead with road closures in place for the events and the celebrations. Wollongong will host its first TEDx event next March, giving Illawarra voices a global platform to share ideas and inspiring stories under the theme Look Out. Event curator Fairleigh Hamilton says TEDx Wollongong will showcase local thinkers, change makers and everyday people with ideas worth spreading. Speaker applications are open until mid-December, with the final lineup to be announced before Christmas. The New South Wales Office of Local Government will investigate the appointment of former Liberal Minister Andrew Constance as Shoalhaven City Council's new Chief Executive, following backlash over the recruitment process. Labor MP Liza Butler says residents are demanding answers, while federal MP Fiona Phillips has accused the council of jobs for Liberal mates and called the decision politically motivated. The council said it followed a robust and competitive process as Mr Constance prepares to start his new role this week. Western Sydney University has been hit with a major email scam that left students and alumni alarmed, with many being told their degrees had been revoked. Students and graduates were told their degrees were no longer valid and that they were permanently excluded from any further study at the university. Police are now investigating the data breach, as many fear their personal information may have been compromised. In international news, 7 Australians detained by Israel on a Gaza aid flotilla have been released and deported to Jordan after days in custody. Activists Juliette Lamont, Hamish Patterson and 5 others were freed on Tuesday, with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade confirming they were providing consular assistance. The Australians had been captured by the Israeli Navy about 70 kilometres off of Gaza on October 2nd, alongside hundreds of other international activists. Taylor Swift's 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, dropped last Friday, launching enormous commercial success and instant fanfare worldwide. The album easily took the #1 spot on the ARIA chart on release week. Early estimates from music analysts suggest sales in Australia are likely to have surpassed 100,000 copies in the opening 48 hours. International netball returns to Wollongong for the first time since 2013, with the Origin Australian Diamonds facing South Africa's Spa Proteas at the Wynn Entertainment Centre this Wednesday. The match is part of a packed season of world-class events in Wollongong, including the World Triathlon Championships, Nitro Circus and the Australian Junior Surf Lifesaving Championships. Gates open at 6 p.m, with the game starting at 7:30 p.m, and officials say the return of the Diamonds will inspire local players to showcase netball's popularity and highlight Wollongong as a destination for world-class sport. Now we go to Jack for more sports news.
Thanks, Sophie. This Sunday we had the Brisbane Broncos completing the trifecta for Brisbane sides. You had the Lions winning in the AFL, you had the Women's Broncos beating the Sydney Roosters in the WNRL final, and you had the Broncos beating the Storm. Reece Osh took out Clive Churchill in a stellar performance, and over the week UAW competed in uni games in the sunny Gold Coast. However, women's football were the only team to take out a gold medal. Congratulations to our Ducks. Back to you, Sophie, for the weather.
Today's temperature ranges from 13 degrees to 28 degrees and feels like 10 to 28 degrees. For the rest of the week, get ready to slip, slop, slap. Over the next 4 days, we have highs of 27 and 28 before it drops back down to 23 next Monday. That's all for news. Back to you, team.
Thanks, Sophie. Next up, we have our musical guest, Silver Lane.
Hey, I'm Jack from Sylvia Lane, and this is Ladybug. I told myself I'm not feeling right. My head's feeling too heavy tonight. We're getting high in the back of our van. Do you remember when you said I could be your man? Yeah, can you be here when I'm leaving? Yeah, can you be here? I told myself I'm not feeling right. Ladybug's been playing me over each night. We're gonna try and do it again. Do you remember when you said I could have your hand? Yeah, can you be here when I'm leaving? Yeah, can you be here? I owe you something, no. Can you be here? Oh, ladybug, ladybug, heaven only knows. Oh, ladybug, ladybug, you know that I've been told. Oh, ladybug, ladybug, you need to let me know when and who you want me to be. Yeah, can you be here? Yeah, can you be here? I owe you something, no. Can you be with me? And if you stayed, and if you stayed, what would we want to be? And if you stayed, and if you stayed, what would we want to be? me to your resume. I still can't quite reciprocate the love that you gave me. You gave me, oh ladybug. And if I stayed, what would we want to be? Oh ladybug.
Wow, what a performance. Next up, we got Jack and Talon talking footy.
Jack Namolsky here with UAW's very own sports expert, Talon Smith. Tal, exciting grand final on Sunday. We both had the pleasure of being there. What did you think?
Incredible game. Reece Walsh, that was the best performance I think I've seen from an individual player ever.
It was a very good individual performance. To somewhat compare it to another grand final performance, you look at Nathan Cleary against the Broncos as well, that last little 15 minutes that he had where he just took control, or for the rest of that game, Ezra Mam and scoring the hat-trick, the game that he had. But Reece Walsh, he couldn't be stopped.
Oh, it was incredible. The tackle he made on Ryan Pappenhausen in the last minute.
Yeah, like that's unreal.
To double up, like Eli Katoa, he bluffed him enough to pass the ball whilst not committing to him, then absolutely crunched Pappenhausen. It was incredible play to cover 2 men at once in the 79th minute of a grand final. Such high pressure. I think that's probably the play of the season right there.
Yeah, it's got to be just such an absolute clutch moment. You even had as well when he chases down Pappenhausen and Pappenhausen is forced to push the pass out, force it out to Will Warbrick because he saw Walsh coming across. It's a massive moment in the game.
That one there, that was incredible, forcing that pass. Obviously, the drop ball that came from it. Also, the one on Tui Kamikamica, where he forced the ball out of his hands, and everyone in our section of the stadium thought that Tui had scored it.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know about it. I thought Reece got his hand in there and you know, made him drop the ball, and sure enough, he did. And that was those 3 try savers. That is just incredible. That pretty much won them the grand final.
Yeah, look, 3 try assists, 1 try. I don't know how many meters he ran, how many line break assists and stuff he got as well. Like he was just unplayable that day. To step up when Renault got injured and just completely take control, he did it.
And even like Jerome Hughes, I mean, it's overshadowed because they lost, but his performance in the first half, the try he scored, there were some great performances on both teams. And it was one of probably the best grand finals that we've seen in the NRL era. I think 23 might just have it covered in terms of the comeback was a little bit better because it happened in that last 20 minutes, whereas Brisbane's comeback happened between the 40th and the 60th.
Yeah.
And I think 2015's probably still got to beat 20. It's probably on par with 2016 with the Sharks Storm grand final.
Yeah. Oh, you'd say as well, that performance that Eli Katoa had, he played great. He had that cutout ball to Will Warbrick. You're not seeing a second rower throw that.
That's incredible.
Even just getting through to the grubber Jerome Hughes gave to him. And then that line break at the end where you think he's just got the game-winning try assist or possibly the game-winning try. Like we said before, Reece Walsh just absolutely cuts him down.
It's incredible. Just some of the plays we saw the other night from all those players on the field. It's just, you can just tell that the 2 best teams were there on the day. Obviously, a few Penrith supporters might beg to differ. They were a bit unlucky, but to blow a 14-point lead in the prelim, you probably don't deserve to be there in the grand final, having that sort of lead. And I think the 2 teams that made it, they were definitely deserving grand finalists, and the way they played, certainly demonstrated that.
Well, you look at the match leading before the Penrith, you had them facing off against the Raiders and coming back after having a man sin binned, and in the last 10 minutes or 8 minutes, they scored 3 tries.
Yeah, it was incredible. 14-point comeback in the qualifying final, 14-point comeback in the prelim final, 10-point comeback in the grand final. It's incredible to see a finals run like that. And I don't know when we're going to see another run like that again.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a long time. If we're seeing it next year, as a mutual footy fan, you'd be cheering.
Yeah, and it's shades of the 2006 Broncos when they were down in the prelim finals. The Bulldogs 20-6 came back to win 37-20. That being down big at halftime, they're not conceding a point in the second half. Like to hold Melbourne to nil in a half of football on the biggest stage where they got so much experience. It was incredible. To lose both their halves, Renault obviously 32 minutes to go, and they lost Ben Hunt with 8 minutes to go. Like, to play that last 8 minutes with players out of position all over the paddock, like they said, the players didn't even know who was defending in what position. They were
Yeah.
just getting to a position and scrambling. And it's just, it goes to show you, Michael Maguire, for all the bashing that he copped from the media, he is a brilliant coach.
Yeah,
And
he did very well.
he had them training all year, they said in the paper, with 8 or 9 people defending to be ready for these sort of situations where you're gassed and you've got to defend out of position. You've got to form combinations with blokes you might not have a combination with. And that's what won them the grand final, is the hard work.
Could you say it came to for the Storm as well? They've been a bit of a odd side all season. You had the injury of Will Warbrick for a lot of games. You had Pappenhausen out for a lot of games. Hughes has just come back from a forearm injury. They've had a very mismatched side for a lot of the year. And then finally, for the time they do want to gel together and all be fully fit, it came in the final stage and in the grand final. Could it have been a lack of actually playing together? And then they just got sort of forced into a big stage and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I had my doubts over them in the prelim final. Like the Sharks, I mean, if Nico Hines catches that ball which slipped out of his hands, and you can't blame Nico for that loss, like he was a big reason why the Sharks were even in that game. I think they weren't convincing against Cronulla. Cronulla could have beaten them if a couple of key moments went the other way. They were very lucky with the refereeing that night, I think, as well, the Storm. They got a couple of calls that went their way. So you could see the cracks that were there, the combinations, as you said, those injuries throughout the season. They didn't get as much footy together under their belt as they wanted. Brisbane, they sort of had that run in. I mean, Reynolds was out for a little bit and they lost Mam. That was a difficult time for them. But, I think Brisbane generally, they played most of the season together. Some of their key, especially their key combinations out on the wings, wing centre combinations. So, and obviously Dean Mariner, I think, is probably one of the most underrated players in the NRL.
Dean Mariner's quality.
He's
I would say
elite.
I do feel somewhat bad for Selwyn Cobbo.
Yes.
Like it's hard done by. He's a great footy player and he simply lost his spot just for a little lack of form. But he is someone who has that class and could have been playing in a grand final.
But I think Selwyn next year at the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins succeed next year.
Yeah.
I think with some of the recruiting they've done, they're building a foundation. Isaiah Katoa is going to have another year under his belt. I think next year, and I thought as I was walking out of the grand final, a thought flashed through my mind, do we see the Broncos and the Dolphins facing off at some point in next year's final series? Imagine that, Suncorp Stadium. That would be the biggest game probably in
Suncorp
NRL
would be
history.
pumping.
That would be incredible. So if we see something like that, I think Selwyn will get his chance. I think he might even get his chance against the Broncos at some point in next year's finals. We just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it's purely just a waiting game for next year. It's been a waiting game for the Tigers as well. Do we think they make the 8 next year after they're starting to come a bit better, starting to look a bit?
I think they do. I think they might sneak in there next year. And I think if they're playing, if it's their home game or if they're playing any Sydney team, it's gonna have to be at a core because that game will sell out. The Tigers fans, they are going to come out in droves. They've been waiting a long time. I think the NRL have to realise if they're playing a final against any team in Sydney, you're gonna have to have your biggest stadium for that because it will be sold out like that.
Yeah, the Tigers fans love to get around there, boys.
They're very passionate supporter base, and I think it's been a long time coming. I'd love to see them make it next year. I had one more sort of thing I want to touch on, which is obviously Marky Mark making the Australian team as well. Like, how good is that to see that he's going to be there replacing Zach Lomax as well? I think he'll definitely get a starting spot now that Lomax is out. What do you think of the Kangaroo Tour? Like, that's the next big thing, I suppose, on the horizon.
Yeah, so it's called the Ashes Test match, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, in the Ashes, I think it's a pure thing of we've got to beat England. We've got the stronger side. It's no sort of debate there. Is Radley in the England side?
I think he's suspension. Yeah, so that's the next interesting thing is which players come out of that fit. Whether Australia can get the job done over there is going to be another big question mark hanging over the Australian team because they've lost a couple of players. So it's the season hasn't finished. That's the exciting part is we've got the Pacific Championships, got the Ashes Tour, and then before you know it, you have your bit of cricket, and then we'll be rolling into next season.
Yeah, look, it's an exciting time. Even got a bit of football over the break as well. It's an exciting time for sports fans.
Oh, it's incredible. I can't wait for it next year.
I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you very much, Talon.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Talon and Jack. After this sports talk, it's got me wanting to try some of these uni games,
Yeah, sure, I want to give it a shot. Man.
Do you reckon we should go out there and...
Who's got 2 thumbs and wants to play sport? This guy.
Hey guys, we're out here on the UOW fields. Max and I are going to do a crossbar challenge. First one to hit the crossbar wins.
It's on.
Looking good?
People ready? One take wonder right here. First try. Yep. Perfect. It's a goal though. It's a goal.
Taking them off, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but we're going to give it a crack, all right? That was better. That was better.
First one was a warm-up. It's been a while since I did a crossbar challenge, but I mean, you'll see. Yeah, not my best work.
Ow, Bindi! Ow, ow, ow! Oh, Mac! Different sort of crossbar?
Different, but not it.
I'd argue double points.
I wouldn't.
So we've given up on the crossbar challenge. We're gonna have a crack at a little penalty shootout. First to 3 goals, winner wins.
No, no. There you go.
Okay.
So basically, Jack is a goat and we couldn't score against him, so now Soph is in goals. What do you think?
Thank you. 1-0. 1-1.
Gotta move, babe!
1. Okay.
It's on me now.
Chance to win it.
All right, this is winner takes all. If I score, I win. Left bottom.
Jeez. All right. Now we're going to be interviewing Logan Matthew about his recent trip to China for the FISU World Cup.
Today, instead of our 3-minute thesis interview, we have Logan Matthew, just touched down from the FISU World Cup in China.
So, Logan, what was it like travelling to China for the FISU World Cup?
Yeah, it was a great experience, to be fair. First time for myself and a lot of the other boys, so I think we're very excited, a bit of nerves as well, but as soon as we touched down, yeah, it was a great couple of weeks. So
Yeah, is it a big stage? Like, are there many people watching and a lot of people back home as well?
yeah, 100%. Like we told all our family, friends, so they were all watching obviously online, but even at the ground, you got all the other countries coming to watch, a fair few locals, so yeah, definitely was the big stage, and yeah.
How does it compare playing over in China versus like just normal uni games? Like, was the stakes a lot higher? Was the quality better?
Yeah, uni games is great. I mean, we love it every year, brings the team close together, but obviously you've got that social fun aspect of it. I think going to China, it's a bit more professional, which was good. We were all like that challenge, something different to do. But I think it was good in the way we didn't lose that bond and we still had our fun. We still did our uni games things that we would do away for the uni games. So I think it's important to balance the professional side but not lose that culture that brings you together.
Is there a lot of the social aspects, especially with like people from other countries and stuff? Is there a lot of getting together, like sharing cultures and stuff like that during the World Cup?
For sure. I think that's one of the highlights actually. Every afternoon or night we all kind of gather in the cafeteria together and you got all the different countries. Lucky for us, a lot of them speak English, broken, but it's all right. So yeah, get to know them, see what they're going through back home, and then just meeting new friends and hearing different stories is always nice. So.
Were you staying in like a village or of some sort, or what's the accommodation like?
Yeah, we described it as like an Olympic village, to be fair. We're all in like one area. There's about 18 odd fields there, so you didn't have to leave. You got training, games, food. All the players stay there. We were able to leave, but to take it all in, I kind of wanted to stay around, to be honest, to make the most of it. But no, accommodation was great. Just the beds, if I can. Had some dodgy beds, but no, the rest of it was
No cardboard?
some concrete slabs, but the rest of it, no, it was great. They looked after us really well. So.
And you guys competed in Group B, is that right?
Yeah.
So you guys had Ukraine, Thailand, and Korea in your group. Was that a hard group comparatively, or?
Yeah, we didn't know really how to read the playing fields and who was going to be dominant and who wasn't. But obviously all the teams at World Cup are going to be strong, so we went in there just giving our best every game, one at a time. And yeah, when you probably see the table, it probably was one of the most competitive groups. 3 teams finishing on 6 points. It was pretty crazy.
So you guys came third in your group. What were the scores in the games like?
Yeah, went down 2-0 to Ukraine first game. Probably not our best, but, you know, off the plane, getting to know each other as well again. Bit of nerves in there, so that wasn't too bad. And then we had South Korea second, where we won 3-2. That was great, up and down, so...
And you scored a pretty important goal in that game.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. No, it was good. Obviously, it's always great to win, and for myself, like to experience a moment like that at a World Cup was insane. I've never had so much adrenaline or felt like that, so that was awesome.
It's pretty top notch.
Yeah,
Scoring a winner at a World Cup.
In the
It doesn't
85th
get much
minute.
better.
Yeah,
And a header at that too.
yeah, no, it was pretty full of excitement at that point in time. And then went into Thailand the last game. We thought we'd get a draw or a win and be safe. We obviously went on to win, which was good. We had a 2-1 win. But unfortunately, yeah, 3 teams on the same point. So although we finished equal first, we finished third on goal difference. So brutal way to go out, but that's football. So
Yeah, it's the way it works sometimes, I guess. Would you say it was a good experience? Like, are you going to keep trying to play in World Cups and stuff like that? Do they keep
yeah,
coming up?
definitely. I think for a lot of us sort of amateur players, you know, when you get a chance to go to a professional stage or a high level, like you jump at it straight away. So yeah, if anything pops up again, I don't know, we'll be itching to get there, but it's a nice taste for now. You kind of want more, so yeah.
Will you compete in Perth next year?
Definitely. I actually finish uni this year, so I'll probably have to re-enroll in something. But knowing what's at stake now that we've been to China, I think a few of the boys will be keen to get back. So I think I'll be in Perth next year.
And yeah, you were saying that you didn't really go out of the village much, but did you explore much in, was it in Chengdu? Is that?
We were in Dalian, yeah.
Right,
A few of the boys went to Beijing for a night. They love that, seeing some of the forbidden cities, some temples.
Yeah,
We just went for a walk around. We went to the zoo. Actually, that was all right.
The zoo?
Like a
Is there any
theme park,
pandas?
essentially. Yeah, saw some pandas. There was some rides there. That was good fun for a day. So we did a bit. We went out to the city, you know, had some lunch, went shopping. It was nice to see all the locals out there as well.
Yeah.
We went to a high school one day and a university, so...
And
they
you
thought we
go
were
visit all the,
pretty
yeah.
famous, yeah, but no, it was great to
cool.
see as much as we could, whilst also being heavily focused on the football side of things. So.
Yeah, I guess you kind of balance that because you're training, obviously. Are you training like every day that you're not playing?
It's a
and stuff
game
like
or
that?
training each
Yeah.
day, so you kind of need that break away from it. So when we had it, it was refreshing.
How long were you there for all up?
Yeah, just under 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, by the time we touched down, we kind of got into training the next day, or the same day essentially when we got there. Then you're playing a game every 2 days. So for a few of the boys, you're playing 5 games in 9 days, which is pretty unheard of back here. But we were lucky. We had a sports scientist, good physio we took over. So we're doing ice baths, all the right recovery, eating well. So
Yeah.
when you do that, it makes your body feel a lot better.
Do you think that like that experience is going to give you guys a leg up when you go back to Perth next year, like knowing what to do?
Yeah, I think so. Like when we go to uni games, you want to have fun. You're not overly focused on the football. You want to win, but you want to enjoy the experience. But I think now we know what's at stake with China. It's probably going to be like that extra energy to win, extra bit of motivation. So I think a few of the boys are in the same boat. And it'll be nice to merge with the boys that played this year. Obviously, they had a great campaign as well, get another medal. So yeah, it'll be nice to see what we do in Perth next year.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Logan, for joining us.
No, thanks for
And,
having me.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear about all this stuff.
And good luck in your next campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
I've been Finlay, and that's been Max.
Hi, Max.
Thank you for tuning in to the special sports edition of Sometime This Week. We'll catch you guys next time.